Hi! After the previous video, a lot of people asking me, what the heck did I just watch? And how can I use it? And what a nice haircut, where can I do the same? I've got the time to answer only one question, that's why I left link to the haircut store under the video description. Thanks for watching and see you in the next videos. Hi! I've got some more time, so let's finally find out how you can use MD Prettify for your daily routine. In this tutorial, we'll have an examples in Python and JavaScript, but you can apply it to any language or any framework that you're writing code with. So let's assume that your primary language is Python and you want to learn JavaScript. You moved across the whole documentation, you watched some tutorial, but this dummy syntax still confusing you. All this bunch of types, how to declare functions with error, with functions inside the class and whatever. Or this let const options to declare variables. Or this bunch of messy curly brackets everywhere around the code. You look at it, you get used to the Python and you want your code to look like this. MDPrettify could help you to achieve it. Let's find out how to make it. From previous video you should know that there is two options how to enable this extension. First with predefined config and second by making your own configuration. For this specific tutorial I chose the predefined config TypeScript-to-Python. It's my own configuration that I'm using on a daily basis. I reduced the amount of curly brackets, semicolons, some stuff with the functions. I highlighted the block scopes like try catch, if else, switches and so on. I do like this configuration, but I guess that you probably don't like it as I am, and you would like to make your own. As you know, MDPrettify uses substitutions to make your own configuration. The easiest way to start here is by removing semicolons. To achieve this goal, you can just write a small regular expressions, which will remove any semicolon at the end of the line. This is how it works. As you can see, it becomes a bit clearer. Regarding the scopes, if you remember from the previous video, you can find it by enabling debug to true, navigate to output, and then to MDPrettify. And here find your desired line of code where you can find the semicolon and its scope. The next example will be a bit more tricky. We will try to remove all curly brackets from our code as it is in Python. And we'll start from the closing curly bracket. Here we will use a small trick, exclamation mark at the beginning of the title of the scope, which means not, so that if there will be intersection between the meta block and the meta tag or import or JSX children, this substitution will not be applied. For all other meta blocks, it will be applied. In some extent, this not is the same as excluded scopes, but for this particular scope. And probably you got a question, what the heck is meta block? Yeah, nice question. Let's find out. As you can see, it's quite often somewhere here. So here, meta block is like everywhere. What is it? The meta block is a block scope in your code. So every switch case, every function creates your block scope. That is it. So for every one of it, we will remove a curly brackets and see how it looks now. It's how it was and how it is now. It becomes much more laconic. But yeah, I feel your pain. This opening curly brackets looks a bit weird. Let's remove them too. We'll start from the switch. As you know, any brackets inside an ugly parameter creates a variable in pretty that you can use. In our case, $1 is the seed. It's replaced like this. We removed the curly brackets in these regular expressions and replaced it with a colon. We'll apply the same for try, catch, if, else, else if. And here is how our code looks like now. It becomes definitely much more clearer and more readable, and I do like it because it's really in a Python style. So here's how it was, and here is it now. As for me, it's much more readable. The next example will be much harder. We will talk about functions. I think you've already noticed that this ugly is huge and there is a lot of variables. To be honest, you don't even need to know anything about it. You can just feed examples that I've got in my GitHub repository to ChatGPT and ask him to generate you similar example with the words that you want, with ideas that you want. You can even translate it in your own native language like Chinese, Spanish, English, French, like any other. But just for tutorial purposes, I will show you how to understand what's happening here using debug and output panel. I will uncomment this line. It's related to the check order function. And I'll search for it here in my output panel. Here is a lot of parts that was generated by this brackets here. So the first means equality sign. Then $part1 is not represented here, but if you put the type here, like the generic type or any other, it will be represented here as a $2. Then $3 corresponds to the parameters that we are passing into function, and $4 is what we are returning from the function, the type that will be returned from the function. So I specified it all here, and here's what I've got. I've got the same example for arrow function, then the other functions, and it's the result. So here's an arrow function, then we update the one at the top. And one small other thing that I wanted to show you is replacing logical signs with the words. It's just really easier for me to read. When I see and repainted in a red color, I just understand that this piece of code split it into two logical pieces, like on the left and on the right. You can replace it with anything you want. It's just an example where I wanted to show you that it can be replaced with the words of your language that you get used to. That's my small configuration. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you'll find a place in your VS Code for this small extension that you will like. If you've got ideas about the other configuration that you want to share with me, I'm open to it. I'm looking forward. Thank you for watching and see you in the next videos. Bye bye.